You've got $8,000 sitting in savings. You've also got a credit card balance that's almost exactly the same size. The instinct is to wipe one out with the other and call it done. That instinct is right more often than it's wrong. There's one number you need to check first, and most people never check it. $1,400 roughly. That's what the gap between a typical credit card's interest rate and a typical savings account interest rate costs you every year you let both sit there instead of choosing. Not from a bad decision, from no decision at all. In this video, we'll cover what each account is actually doing for you, why paying off debt counts as an investment, how much cushion to keep, and the exact threshold that flips this decision. I'll show you the numbers at each step. Say you're Maria. She's got $7,886 on a credit card. That's the actual national average balance for Americans who carry one, according to the Federal Reserve's latest household data. Her card charges 22.15% APR, also about the national average for cards currently accruing interest. She's also got roughly the same amount, call it $8,000, parked in a high-yield savings account. Online banks advertising around 3 to 4% right now, though most savers are earning closer to 4%. Some online banks are advertising up to 5% right now, though most savers are earning closer to 4 to 4.5% once you account for promotional rates expiring. Two accounts, similar size, completely different jobs. Here's the part that surprises people. Paying off that card isn't really debt payoff. It's an investment. When Maria uses savings to erase a 22% APR balance, she locks in a 22% guaranteed return. No market risk, no volatility, guaranteed, because that's the rate she stops paying every single day the balance exists. Compare that to the 4.5% her cash was earning sitting in savings. There is no stock, no fund, no crypto play that reliably beats a guaranteed 22% return with zero risk. The gap between what her debt costs and what her savings earns comes out to about $1,390 a year. That money isn't lost to a bad investment or a market crash. It disappears for no better reason than the two piles of money never talked to each other. Before Maria touches a dollar of savings, two things are worth checking. If her credit is strong enough, a 0% intra-APR balance transfer card can buy her 12 to 18 months without that 22% clock running at all. Worth comparing before giving up any cash cushion. And if she's carrying more than one card, this isn't really a savings or debt decision anymore. It's a which debt first decision. That's usually a choice between the avalanche method, paying the high interest rate balance first to save the most money, and the snowball method, paying the smallest balance first for the psychological win. The avalanche wins on paper, the snowball wins for people who need momentum to stick with a plan. Pick whichever you'll actually finish. So does that mean drain the account tonight? Not quite. There's a threshold. If wiping the card would leave Maria with less than 1 month of expenses or under $1,000, whichever is bigger, most financial planners say stop short of zero. Keep a starter buffer and put the rest towards the card. If her card is above roughly 25% APR, planners get more willing to say pause retirement contributions temporarily and throw everything at the balance till it's gone. Below that line, keep contributing enough to capture any employer 401k match along the way. That match is a guaranteed return too, often 50% or 100% instantly, and skipping free money to chase a 22% return while giving up a 50% one is backwards math. This is the moment to actually check your own numbers. Pull up your credit card statement and your savings balance right now and see which side of that threshold you land on. Now, I want to push back on the recommendation I just made. Suze Orman has argued for years that the emergency fund should come first and not a starter buffer, a real one, 8 to 12 months of expenses before getting aggressive on debt at all. Her logic isn't wrong. A paid off credit card doesn't help you if a job loss 6 months from now sends you right back into debt, this time with zero cash cushion and no runway to fall back on. The math says pay off off the 22% card. The risk management case says keep more cash than the math strictly requires. Both of those things are true at the same time, and where you land between them depends on how stable your income actually is. 3 mistakes people make here, and none of them are doing the math wrong. First, paying off the card then closing it. That account's age and available credit are part of your credit score. A 0 balance on an open card helps you. A closed account can quietly hurt you months later. Second, and this is almost universal, paying off the balance, then rebuilding it within the year because the spending habit that created the debt never actually got erased. Behavioral researchers call this mental accounting. Debt money and savings money feel like they live in separate buckets in your head, so wiping out one bucket doesn't fix the leak that's still filling it. And the most expensive mistake is the one Maria was making before she ran these numbers. Nothing. 2 accounts sitting there quietly costing about $1,390 a year for no better reason than nobody sat down and ran the comparison. Every month that passes is another month of that gap compounding. So here's the actual decision rule. If your credit card rate is anywhere near the national average, call it 20% or higher, and your savings is anywhere close to today's high yield rates, paying down the card wins almost every time. You're trading a guaranteed 4% return for a guaranteed 20+% one. Keep a starter buffer of 1 month of expenses or $1,000, whichever's bigger, so a flat tire doesn't send you right back to the card. Capture your employer match along the way if you have one. Beyond that, the math isn't close enough to keep overthinking it. This is a summary of what the research shows, not personalized financial advice. Your income stability, your job security, and your own comfort with risk all shift exactly where that buffer line should sit for you. So talk to a CFP if your situation is more complicated than the average. But the mistake that costs almost everyone the most money isn't picking savings over debt or debt over saving. It's leaving both accounts exactly where they are and never running the numbers at all. This content is for general educational purposes only. It's not personalized financial, investment, tax, or legal advice. I am not your financial advisor, and I don't know your full situation. Use this as a framework, then plug in your own numbers, and if needed, talk to a qualified professional who can look at your whole picture. If you already decided the math favors paying down the card, the next question is exactly how big that emergency buffer should be while you still owe money. That's the next video. If you're not sure where your own number lands, subscribe because that calculation is coming next.